Hello friends of the electrified charging fun and welcome to Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. This is Community News Community Watch number 2. If you've missed out number 1, you'll find a link up there or just search here on the channel, because we will start with a review to some topics of this Community News number 1 and the answers given by Skoda to that. And of course I have 5 new interesting topics from the community in this video. The first one is the 12-volt battery, or the weakness of it, coming with this final message in your My Skoda app that the battery protection limit is exceeded. And the second topic, I've got an ENYAQ where the mileage of the long-term mileage odometer is higher than the total mileage. Kinda interesting. Number 3, this is tire wear and camber angle, something a lot of viewers mentioned to me. Number 4 is about the neutral and the car wash, because one viewer had a rather bad experience in the car wash. And number 5, we talk about the defects with the puddle lights, which is still an issue after so many years. We'll end this video, of course, with a section on my own behalf, and I brought another product for this video with me. Back there you see everything for Christmas already decorated, and now let's go. Let's start with the review for the topics from the community news number 1. So I've got some answers from Skoda here, and the first topic I had was that over-the-air updates are now also available at the dealership and they would charge you for them if they install them. Skoda reacted directly because I posted that on LinkedIn as well. So Mr. Selmer, their CEO, answered to this. He did 2 comments, you can see him right here, and basically what he says. But too bad, I would have liked to see something more than simply 2 LinkedIn comments here, because who is reading this? I would have thought that they will inform those people who got that newsletter that they will take action here. But as you can see, something is going on. Next topic, this is the headlight leveling, and I've got an answer from Skoda because I asked them what to do, and I'm pretty sure you do not like their answer, because basically they say these are simply a few individual cases and that this leveling system is malfunctioning. This can affect the basic LED headlights. Skoda is working to rectify this problem. Currently, the affected vehicle must be taken to an authorized Skoda service to carry out the necessary repairs. After that, the headlights can be adjusted normally again. But to be honest, these are not a few individual cases. Me alone has over 100 reports from you regarding this problem. This is not an isolated case, and therefore I'm not quite happy with this answer. So basically I'm pretty sure they really don't know what to do, and therefore I would suggest, if you've got the problem, go to the dealership, especially if you've still got guarantee. Outside of the guarantee it might be a bit tricky, and write to Skoda support. Inform them that this is not an individual case, that this is a mass phenomenon. So go towards Skoda and tell them. And some of the viewers also reported to me that they had addressed this issue to the local authorities in their country, who are responsible for vehicles and their road safety. So let's see what will happen here. Next topic, that was the charging lid. And well, it could be a mechanical problem, but especially for the newer ENYAQ 2nd generation with software 4 and software 5, this is a software bug when the lid does not open up. And Skoda gave me an answer to that as well, and I'm pretty sure again you will not like that answer. If the charging lid is blocked and the driver cannot continue the journey because of this, he should call the official Skoda assistance. Yeah, that's the thing you like to do if you simply want to charge, right? If there's a suspicion that the cover or the lid is not working properly, the customer should contact an authorized service center, which will check the cover and help solve the problem. The charging port cover may be blocked for various reasons. Yes, we all know that. And this won't help you much if you simply want to charge and you know that the pin is working, because it's a software bug. The dealership can't help you there. They will exchange the mechanism and you've still got the problem. Now let's move on to the last topic here, and that is preheating for software version 3. And that was also a topic in the first community watch, and now we've got an answer from Skoda on the EV launch, their Facebook group. And here's the post: You can read it, it's in English, and basically they say that they are currently now working on it and looking into this. So you've got now the confirmation that they are on it and not that it is completely off the table. But the downside is it will not come this winter, nor did they give you any estimation when it will come. So basically this is not much, but at least it's something, and therefore this should round up the review quite well. The 12-volt problem with the ENYAQ expressed through the message "battery protection limit exceeded, deactivated to use the remote." Basically, whether you drive a brand new ENYAQ or you have a first generation ENYAQ, the problem seems to exist with all model years. And I keep getting our messages from you about this problem with the low voltage of the 12-volt battery and what this message really means, which comes up in the My Skoda app on your phone, because it's not self-explanatory, that message. And basically this message triggers off when the voltage of the 12-volt battery gets below a threshold, and the community thinks it's really 12 volts. So if you've got an 11 point whatsoever value, you get that message, because then the limit is exceeded. And now you might say, well, every year the same, when winter comes you get those problems. But this is not the case. I also got this problem reported in summer and autumn this year. This is not related to the current season of winter. And the problem is not the temperature of the outside. I think it's a design flaw with the battery, because basically either the 12-volt battery in the ENYAQ is generally too weakly designed for all the stuff which is going on in the ENYAQ right now, or it ages faster than Skoda expected, so it's of not the best quality. Or the last thing, there is no really working concept of recharging the 12-volt battery from the high voltage battery. Well, it gets recharged, but only if the car is turned on, so the ignition is on. If this is not the case, there is no recharging of the 12-volt battery. When the voltage drops of the 12-volt battery, you start running into troubles. Finally, when the 12-volt battery is depleted, you can't even open your ENYAQ, nor can you start your ENYAQ. But how can you check the battery? For me, there are basically two ways to do that. The first one you can do with OBD data and the OBD adapter. This one little fella here, and the app Car Scanner. You can read out the data, but there's a slightly small problem with it. You can only read the voltage after you sit in the car and the ignition is on, because you need it for the OBD data. And if the battery is low, there will be directly a recharging process, so you get the charging voltage and not the real voltage of the battery. If you really want to go deeper into that topic, well, you need a multimeter. Something like this here. This is it's a cheap one from Amazon, but it does its job. It's working quite well. And then just open up the hood and do the measurement on your battery. And then you really know the voltage, because you can do this with the ENYAQ locked and turned off. And well, this is only a single value. If you really want to monitor your battery, you need a battery monitor. You'll find one which the community recommends down in the description, and you plug this to your battery and it has a small Bluetooth module and you have a corresponding app, and then you can monitor over time. And Skoda also seems to know about that problem, because one viewer got a response from the Skoda support and they stated, "Your issue is a known problem on our side. We are currently developing long-term solutions that will be available in the near future. The reported problem is caused by the low voltage battery protection. The low voltage battery protection deactivates non-mandatory transactions for using your vehicle according to its power level and shows the corresponding message in the application to prevent draining the low voltage battery." And now it gets exciting, because now they write, "We can manually turn on the high voltage battery support on your vehicle, but we need your consent to do it. High voltage battery support function will enable charging the 12-volt battery, which is used for all the connectivity services." And if he agrees with that, they will remotely enable that function. But the ENYAQ is already using this mechanism, only if ignited. So this seems to be a mechanism that the high voltage battery is able to charge your 12 voltage battery even if the car is turned off. But kind of funny that they have to activate it remotely. This was a software version 5 ENYAQ, so maybe you need software version 5. I don't know. Maybe there needs to be some specific software in your car. It's not stated here. Maybe it's possible with all cars, just simply activate it remote. And this comes with another thing. I already said on this channel that with my Skoda 760 version, the app version, they already did that because they stated that they improved this. Talking about the app and the message you get about the battery protection limit, this is annoying. To be honest, this message is worthless because if you tap on it, nothing happens, nor is the information clear. Why isn't there, when you tap on it, an information about the voltage and what you now should do next? So you got help from the app. This message doesn't help you, but yeah, next point. What do you do if the battery is really depleted and you can't open the ENYAQ? So you are stranded. Well, you need a battery booster. A battery booster you might know from your combustion car, something like this. So this is basically a 12-volt power bank, which is able to provide a high current for starting up a combustion engine. The ENYAQ does not need high current. It only needs a bit of electricity so that the relays from the high voltage battery gets closed and they can recharge now the 12 voltage battery. So you can go for a rather small thing like this. I put one down in the link in the description, which helps me a lot. And a nice side effect, you can use this as well to help out ICEs if they got stranded in winter. But in case that the battery is depleted, how to open up the hood? Well, watch my video on the key of the ENYAQ. There I show you how you can mechanically open your ENYAQ and then you reach to the battery under the hood. Also, if you now think, well, my battery is depleted quite well, I would replace it. Don't do it on your own, because it's not as easy as it was with your old ICE here, and I wouldn't recommend doing it. You need exactly the same battery and you need to make sure that there is no recharge process going on from high voltage to that battery, because if so, you might destroy a lot of control units. If you know what you do and you've got the instruction from Skoda or Volkswagen, please do it. But in other cases, I would really suggest go to your dealer, to your workshop. And since the 12-volt battery is quite an interesting topic, I will do a separate video on this, maybe already next week. As you already know, I am reading a lot of data from my car. I am using an OBD adapter and the responding app for this. The app is called Car Scanner and you'll find it in the app stores of Android and of iOS. So basically, I've updated this adapter. I already said in my last community news that there's a new version out there here, the iCars Pro 2S. And now I have tested this little one, this new one throughoutly, and it really works fine. Yes, you can leave that one plugged in. If you leave the car and you come back, this one will already power up again. You do not have to detach and replug it, and you can read data directly again. So yes, this is an improvement over the old one, and since the new one is not much more expensive, you should go with the new version here, the Pro 2S. You'll find an affiliate link to this one down in the description. If you want to support me, please use it. And I'm really happy about this little tiny thing. And if you want my dashboards or a more deep introduction into reading data with the OBD adapter, you find the corresponding video on my channel. Odometer discrepancy between long-term and total distance display. Well, some of you have written that they don't have matching numbers in the long-term and the total distance, whilst most of you wrote that the long-term is lower than the total distance. This is quite understandable because you could reset it manually, or it might be a reset due to a software update or visit at the workshop. Therefore, there could be a difference even if you didn't do anything. But one viewer wrote me and also sent me pictures that it is otherwise around with his ENYAQ. So basically, his ENYAQ has 22 kilometers more on the long-term odometer than on the total distance odometer. And this is something which should not happen, I think, because total distance, that is the value the car has driven. So he has no clue why this happens, me neither. So if you've got a solution for that, write me in the comments what could be the case here. And if you've got the same issue, that the long-term value is higher than the total mileage of your car, please send me an email with screenshots or with images, or just write me in the comments. Uneven tire wear on the ENYAQ, the problem with the wheel camber angle. Some of you, not many, wrote me that they have a problem with the wear out of their tires, and they suggest that that might have to do with the wheel camber angle and that this is way too aggressive. One viewer really digged into this and found out that the camber angle of his ENYAQ is -2 degrees, so a very aggressive negative camber angle, and he thinks the problem comes from this. So he went to the workshop, told them that, and the workshop said there is new instructions available to adjust the camber angle to -1 degree, so less aggressive, and this should help. What do you think? Is that a really aggressive camber angle, -2 degrees, or is it okay? Did you expect or do you have the same problems with tire wear, excessive tire wear or uneven tire wear? Please write me down in the comments. If you want to send me some images or videos, just send me an email and I will dig deeper into that topic. Standstill in the car wash or the problem with neutral in the ENYAQ. One viewer had the problem that he went into a car wash with a pull-through mechanism, and within the car wash he opens up the seatbelt, the car went into park mode and nothing goes, so he blocked the whole car wash. Basically, if you've got that problem with a pull-through car wash, you need to go to neutral with your gearbox. We all know that from our ICEs, and the ENYAQ has a neutral as well, but there are some specific things you might know if you want to do this. Because if you don't do this, you will end up like the viewer. Well, if you hit N, then you get a message on the screen which will ask you if you want to deactivate the roll-away protection, and you definitely have to say OK so that it gets deactivated. If you do not do this, open up the seat belt. Getting up from the seat or turning off the car will directly lead to a parked car with the parking brakes activated. If you do hit OK and deactivate the roll-away protection, you can open up the seat belt and the car stays in neutral. You can even get up from your seat and the car stays in neutral. If you do not get that message when shifting to neutral, go to the settings of your car, exterior, brakes, and there you can activate to see those messages, and also there's a button for deactivate now. Simply hit that button before going into a car wash with a pull-through mechanism. Also, if you are at the end of that car wash and you want to shift back to D or B, you simply need to hit the brake first. You cannot shift from N to D or B. So tap the brake, go to D and B, and then leave the car wash. Also keep in mind that you need to deactivate auto hold. So put it on a favorite bar. If you do not have it there, you also find it in the car settings. And if you do not deactivate it and the car comes to a standstill, it will engage the brakes, and therefore you've got the same problem. And the last thing, if you go to a car wash, it does not need to be a pull-through car wash, deactivate the easy open function. Because under very specific circumstances, it could happen that the car wash triggers the mechanism of the easy open function, and then your bonnet will open up and gets quite wet. So just remember that. And now this is a perfect point to say, wow, why is there no car wash mode, Skoda? Like dock mode or camping mode? Because so many settings and so many things to remember simply going to a pull-through car wash. Well, there should be one button, car wash, which leads to deactivating the roll-away function so that you can open up the seat belts, that you can get up from the seat, also that directly deactivates easy open and deactivates auto hold, and then when you've done car washing, just hit the same car wash mode again and every function will be resetted to the settings you applied before. Broken mirror lights or puddle lights. You might know that the ENYAQ has such a puddle light below the mirror to illuminate the ground before the door, and it displays basically a Skoda logo or some fancy design they think looks well. And since the beginning of the ENYAQ, there's a problem with this because the stencil of the logo gets broken and you just have some wobbly, blobbery thing on the ground instead of a very clear and sharp image. This is well known to Skoda, so if you experience something like that, simply go to your dealer and it will be exchanged. Basically, the problem is that it is not waterproof, there's water going in, and the module which does this with the projector in it is already in the 3rd iteration, so version C is available. This is built in ENYAQ since January 2024, and basically I have no information about 2nd generation ENYAQs who have the same problem. Mine didn't have it. The first ENYAQ I had, yes, I've got the problem as well, got it fixed at the dealership. For those who are asking, is it possible to exchange the stencil for something custom? Well, theoretically, yes, there are third-party providers out there who do this, but when you look at the module with the projector, therefore that it needs to be waterproof, I didn't saw any way to open it up to exchange only the stencil. So I think you have to replace the whole module from a third-party provider here. On my own behalf, I have 2 topics I like to tackle right now. And the first one, that is transparency on my channel, or why more often I have the tag advertising video advertisement up here. Especially new viewers are constantly asking me, is this here completely sponsored by Skoda? Are you an employee of Skoda? And the answer lies somewhere else. It's legal requirements and my desire to ensure transparency. Well, is this here advertising or not? Well, first off, the reason I put this up there is because I've got a discount of 18% of my new Skoda ENYAQ from Skoda, so the orange one you see on the channel. And in certain countries, when you look at advertising rules, yes, this is some kind of sponsorship or support, and which could lead that I need to label it as advertisement. As a standard, I take the German rules or guidelines on advertising labeling from the media authorities there. And they'd say if there is a commercial incentive from a third party, such as a discount, this is classified as potentially advertising. And in my case, well, the discount was a one-off and I'm not in any case linked or have any obligations from Skoda with it. I can do whatever I like on the channel, but nevertheless, it remains a matter of consideration. And if you look at that guideline or at the guidelines from the media authorities in Germany, you see 2 potential categories I'm in. Category A, posts about products where there is a quid pro quo, and those must be labeled as advertising. And you can say this is a case with my channel. Or category C, post without commercial incentive or agreement, where I do not have to label it. To be on the safe side, I have decided to label the video as advertising, simply to not run into any issues. And another thing, I live in Switzerland, so the German rules might not apply to me, but which rules apply? The UK's, the Swedish ones, the Swiss ones? It's highly confusing. So the basic principles of transparency and information for you applies here, and therefore I go with the very strict German regulations and label advertisement up here. And so I hope you understand why it's labeled like this. Also consider that sometimes I'm speaking about products I use or simply show them, just like an OBD adapter. And since there are affiliate links down in the description, again, it is advertisement. And if you have any questions around this, feel free to write me in the comments. This is it for Community Watch Community News number 2 in December 2024. I will keep an eye on all the topics of all community watches, and the next community watch will come in 2025. If you have suggestions of topics which should be in that community watch, write me in the comments or simply send an email to me. And if you like that community watch, give it a thumbs up. Consider to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel to help the channel grow. And I really appreciate your ongoing support, be it with a super thanks or with a PayPal donation or simply using the affiliate links down there to purchase something off Amazon. You really help me to keep that channel running. And now we see each other in the next video, and until then, stay full of energy.